Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 112-96 win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ryker, I accidentally dragged something on the OBS, so I'm going to adjust this while you talk, but Ryker, what are your thoughts on this game?
The initial thoughts are, what are you choosing to win this for, right? The New York Knicks, that was the game where you want to win, you want to make it known that you're still a presence in the East, that if you're vying for a spot at the bottom of that play-in tournament, because realistically it's between the Wizards, the Raptors, and the Bulls. The next team up, I believe it's the Pacers. They're almost around 500, so it's those final three teams. The Knicks was the game to win. They lost that. Now to come out and beat the Cavaliers, I get the winning culture, losing culture argument, but again, this is one of those ones where I'm just back to being confused as to what the Raptors are trying to achieve this season, Ben.
And Riker, it seems like we start every podcast now over the past couple of weeks with this debate, with this talk, but are you guys Team Tank? Are you guys Team Playoffs? And you and I were chatting a little bit just before this game and breaking down the standings, breaking down how things are looking. We're going to dive into all this game as well, because there was a lot of bright spots. Malachi Flynn, OG Anunoby, so be excited for that. But, Riker, you look at the path to this 10th seed, and it's not as clear, it's not as wide open as we once thought, because the Chicago Bulls, they look like an easy target to hop into that spot, and you know, they've fallen out. We're not even worried about them, but the Washington Wizards are on an 8-game win streak. Everyone else we're really far away from right now. And Riker, before I get your take, I'm going to react to Peasant Plays Flynn Reaper comment. And this guy has thousands of nicknames, but shout out for the super chat, Peasant Plays. But I'm excited to... You're hiding your screen
I was
there?
just cleaning the screen. Shout out to Peasant Plays.
Yep.
It's the perfect segue because he brought this one up last time. The Flynn Reaper, Christopher Fung, classic man in the comment section. Riker, say his name, Flynn Sanity. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm a New York Knicks man now that the Raptors seem like they're going away from the playoff picture. Finally, I can dust off all the old Knicks gear and actually support my old team in the playoffs. But Ben, Flynnish him. That is, I guess, a Mortal Kombat reference. I think the movie just dropped. I'm excited to see it just for the memes. But he actually played well. He closed the fourth. This guy, he's the future. I mean, Fred VanVleet, extremely inconsistent again in this one. You brought it up before the podcast. It just seems like he just flip-flops around shooting 1 for 5, 1 for 6, 1 for 7. Then some nights he'll go 6 for 7. 7 for 8, right? He's very back and forth. Kyle Lowry, similar argument. He usually does a little bit more stat sheet stuffing than Fred VanVleet. But Malachi Flynn, he comes to play in the fourth. So are you impressed? Is he the point guard of the future? Can we drop Lowry for no money, no return in the offseason, let him walk because we're confident that Malachi Flynn could be the next up and coming?
Well, Malachi Flynn, obviously Flynnish him, fourth quarter Flynn. The nicknames have been all over the place with this guy, and for good reason, especially post-trade deadline. You brought it up. He does all the things on the court. He's got that smooth jumper. He passes the ball. He's a great defender. The only real issue with him right now is the inconsistency, and we saw it against the New York Knicks, and he just really wasn't an impact player on the court. Again, didn't get a lot of minutes in that one with Gary Trent out there, and Trent didn't even get that much run. He was out tonight, but Fred, Trent, Lowry, there's not a lot of run to go around for Malachi Flynn in that situation. So maybe that's an excuse. But regardless, throughout the course of the season, he has been inconsistent. But his highs, the potential he's shown, really gets me encouraged about the future. Is that future next season? Is that next season where he could be a lockdown rotation player, a guy that's locked in for the rotation every night and you can count on night in, night out to be a consistent piece? I don't know. Long-term future, I am definitely high. I'm bullish on Flynn. His passing ability, 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds tonight. His passing ability, the way he just creates shots, his smooth stroke. I'm big on Malachi Flynn, but I don't know if I'd go as far as to say let Lowry walk for nothing and give the reins, because we want, regardless Team Tank, Team Playoffs right now, everyone's got to be Team Playoffs next season, and
yep.
I'm bullish, but I'm not sold.
It was a hyperbole to say, can we let Kyle Lowry walk for no value? Can we just let him leave in free agency? an extreme exaggeration, Ben. Obviously, you want to get some value back for a guy that brought a championship to the city, but we don't want to spend too much time breaking down any individual player in this one. It was a win against the Cavaliers. We have 100 people watching live. There's obviously not a ton of excitement around this one, as you'd expect. But one matchup that I am particularly interested to talk about, Ben, is Jared Allen versus Khem Birch. You and I both feel like the Raptors could have become part of that three-way trade when James Harden was shipped over from Houston to the Brooklyn Nets. Really, all that was exchanged for Jared Allen was Dante Exum, and we could have given up Terrence Davis and Matt Thomas, who we ultimately did give up for 2 first-round picks. So Jared Allen was a guy that we felt really disappointed that the Raptors weren't able to lace in. Now, obviously, he wants $120 million or whatever in the offseason. We probably wouldn't pay him that much. But now we finally found ourselves a decent center. Guess what? He had himself a game as well. Their stats are pretty comparable. Khem Birch, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 77% from the whatever it is, inside the 3-point line. Over 7 for 7 inside the 3-point line. He took 2 threes. But Ben, this matchup in particular, what are your thoughts?
And, Peasant Plays, he's out here reading my mind with those super chats. Birch over Baines. I saw it on Reddit. Not this specific hashtag, but people are saying Khem Birch, obviously an average center, but compared to Aaron Baines, compared to our guy, we're not going to slander him too much. He did his best for us. I don't know how much run he's going to get to the end of the season, depending on if we go through that tank section, or go to the tank. I'm reading section in the comments. I'll plug that in a second. But Khem Birch looks like a prime Hakeem Olajuwon compared to what we've been putting on the floor, the Alex Lenz, the Aaron Baineses of the world, and especially at the start of this one, his rebounding ability, the way he can finish inside. It's a whole different team out there with a proper center. And again, these were the teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers, we were losing to when we didn't have a big out there in these games. And now, fortunately for the tank, unfortunately for the Kazoos, we're able to just blow these teams out the water with a center. And now I guess they're also primed for tanking at this point as well. But, I'm excited for next season. Khem Birch as a second piece, as a second center. I love it, but it's good stuff. People are saying Spike Riker. We're plugging the 20K subs. We haven't been able to get into a gym to record some hype 20K or one-on-one videos. But once we hit 20K subs, we're playing that game of one-on-one. So we'd really appreciate everyone in this 150 people in here. Like the vid, subscribe. You're laughing at one of these chats, Riker. What are you seeing?
No. Well, I was laughing at one. Who was it? Matthew Coombs. That's such an insult to Hakeem. I guess you compared him to Birch.
That's an insult to Birch, actually. He's way better than Hakeem. Insult I don't know.
To Khem Birch. But if we're back on again the conversation between tank or not, somebody said the next 5 games are make it or break it. Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously probably not the real one.
I think it
never
is the
judge. The next 5 games will decide the season. Well, you said it to me that basically the worst team that the Raptors have remaining is the Pacers, which is not a promising sign when you play the Clippers multiple times. You play the Utah Jazz. You play the Lakers. All of these teams that are still very much in the mix. And it makes the final couple of games more competitive to have the play-in tournament because you don't want to be 7th. You don't want to be 8th and possibly miss out on the actual playoffs. So it's tough for the Raptors, but again, they're game back of the Wizards. Guess what, Ben? Dallas, Indiana, Milwaukee, Toronto, Indiana again, Atlanta twice, and then Cleveland and Charlotte. The Wizards have just as tough a schedule. So if the Raptors want to win, they still could. And I know some people still want them to. So that's the point that I want to bring up on that. Next guy to break down, maybe on the Toronto Raptors, OG
Anunoby, 20 points tonight, 9 of 15, 0 of 5 from the 3-point line, which, again, OG's a 3-point shooter. That's a little bit disappointing, but his rhythm, the way he finishes around the rim, it seems as if his touch, and it was a common motif amongst our podcast for me to overhype OG Anunoby's handles, particularly in the bubble, particularly before the start of the season, because he reverted back to rookie OG in the first months of this year, but his smoothness, his game has really come together over the past couple weeks, since he's returned from all those days of rest and injury and all that. Riker, 20 points per game from OG has been commonplace, especially since we've traded Norman Powell when he's gotten that run. If we are getting this type of level of production from OG with Siakam's quietly resurging over this time span as well. I'm really encouraged about next year, especially with a proper full season of development, fitness, all that, without a deep playoff run likely for these guys coming into next year.
Development, fitness, whatever, Ben. Having a center is going to be the difference maker next season to win a couple games. You start the season with the wind completely knocked out of your sails, playing in Florida, having the home fans those first couple of games cheer against you, cheer for the Celtics, cheer for the Heat. All of these changes, then you layer on top, we were getting absolutely zero production from interior defense or interior scoring, touch around the basket, all of those things. Of course, you're going to find yourself buried into such a hole or dug such a deep hole that it's very hard to get out of it. And now you're at the tail end of a season playing tough teams. So, Ben, just having a center is going to, in my opinion, be the difference maker. And then having fans, I don't know if next season will be a regular fan season, but in Texas, I always need to splash a little bit of my UFC knowledge. They just had a fight card on Saturday night, full capacity, 50,000. The energy was electric. Now, I'm not saying we should rush out and do it. Obviously, Texas is very much not on safety first mentality, but it got me thinking, like, this is true, or this is what it'll feel like when basketball is back up in full force, when there's actually fans cheering on fast breaks, cheering on blocks, cheering on OG threes.
Yeah, certainly. And Pascal, OG, they're energy players. You love to see it. But we missed a super chat record. Peasant Plays. The spicy play of the day needs to go to Kevin Love. Peasant Plays, he's been predicting stuff in this podcast. Don't spoil nothing too much with the super chats, but we graciously appreciate all of those babies. But Ryker, I completely agree with you. And hopefully that all works out. Again, that's a long ways away. Ontario especially. Things need to... one day at a time in terms of vaccine rollout. Who knows what will happen with Canada, if the border will open at that point. It's tough to tell, tough to project at this point. But again, this Raptors team is going to be a lot better if we're not playing in Tampa, if we're not the Tampa Raptors next season. But Ryker, we brushed over Siakam a little bit. Before we dive into Malachi, Flynn's sanity, get a good... well, we've talked about him a good bit, but a few segments and stuff. Pascal Siakam, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and... again, there's some bad moments at times. End of games, it's looked shaky during moments. You'll get the occasional highlight that blows up about Siakam. Oh, spin man! I've been seeing it's gone into pop culture. I was watching just a hip. I don't know the specific name. It had hip hop in the title, so it wasn't an NBA page on Twitter. It was some kid spinning or something like that, and the first 3 highlighted most favorited tweets were, yo, look at Pascal Siakam there. So he's still getting memed, he's still getting clowned by highlights, but he's quietly had a really solid last month of basketball. He's looking in shape, he's looking decisive, he's finishing around the rim. What are your thoughts on Pascal right now? I know it was a tough start, it was all this, we can speak on all that, but I thought he's looked great as of late.
Oh yeah, he's looked fantastic, and that's why I would almost tend to say, let's make that playoff push. Now, obviously, the schedule it might be a little bit too late, right, to make it, but you'd most likely, as the 10th seed, be playing Miami in that play-in round, and that's been historically a pretty tough matchup, facing against Bam Adebayo, facing off against Precious Achiuwa, and with Pascal Siakam playing the way he is, if he doesn't let those guys get the better of him, there's nothing that Miami could offer that's better than even this bad Toronto Raptors team. But, you know, we just have so much talent that isn't really being tapped into yet, and it's because of the ups and downs, the inconsistencies, the injuries, and the illnesses. So I would love to see the playoff push, but I think I'm still firmly over on Team Tank side. But we've been preaching it all season long. Don't get off of the Pascal Siakam hype train, because next season he's still going to be up there. He's going to be right there in top 10, top 20 players in the NBA. You better believe it.
Yep. He's not there right now because of the start and all that, but he's getting back there next season. You're calling it here. We're calling it here. So I don't know.
And this one's funny. I need to just shout out because it's funny. Stephen Curry 30 McFlurry, Spinny P.
I've never heard that one before.
Because he spins a lot.
Can I do this here without making a ruckus?
Probably not. I
think I made a little bit of a ruckus.
Then what say we swing it to the segments real quick? We got some good things we want to drop, some drip news, and we need to get through the segments first.
Yeah, we'll get through the segments, but some people don't like our spicy Pele take, or spicy spinny P take, but we got a spicy Pele for this podcast right here, for this game. So we got I didn't realize, Riker, in this animation, we have a hot sauce bottle going off. We got a little hot sauce here, and you know what's in that hot sauce bottle?
Jungle Spice Roja.
Jungle Spice Roja, Tiger Smoke. I gotta switch that there. You can use the promo code We the North to get 20 or 50% off. That's still the promo going on, right, Riker? I
believe so.
Yeah,
we're in the last week of it now, so if you're interested, limited time.
It's a limited offer, right? This is the home stretch for this crazy deal, for this top-notch hot sauce. A bunch of people have ordered it, a bunch of people have got it, and we're getting good reviews. People are DMing us saying they're liking it and that. So it's not just us spreading the news. We definitely like it. It's in.
Let me plug this too. If you do go onto their website, check their merch page, because their shirt, the design on it's so cool. I rock it at the bars all the time. It's punk rock.
I gotta cut you off there. I gotta say this. Riker there was definitely at least 2 Chicky Poos. Riker's rocking the Tiger's Milk t-shirt downtown, and there's a couple Chicky Poos. I don't know. It had to be a shirt. It was a part of the aesthetic they pulled up. I won't go too much into the deets, but it's the hot sauce, it's the shirt. Check out their website. A lot of cool stuff there. But Riker, for the spicy Pele of the day, Malachi Flynn hit some shots. You got one?
Yep. Pascal Siakam himself. Oh, constipation face. There was somebody on when I'm thinking of a thing that you can't remember, and you squint really hard to remember, but you can't.
I got you. I was
somebody on the Pistons, I believe. Was the Pistons okay? You might. I'm just gonna explain the dunk, and you can fill in the gap, or anybody in the comment section if you can remember who. He drove in. He was left wing. He drove in, and he basically had defender on his left shoulder. So he was going up with right arm. Basket was outside, so he could have done a hook. That's basically what I'm trying to say. He's coming across the key, could have done a hook, elevates like he's going to, and then last second he kind of throws it in he was sideways to the basket, throws in a slam dunk. Does anybody know what that was?
What that was?
Yeah, who that was, sorry. I think he was on the Pistons. It might have been Jeremy Grant. I think it was a random scrub. Point is, Pascal Siakam had the identical dunk tonight, where he basically did not look anywhere near the ability to dunk it. He was basically sideways to the basket. He was going in for a bit of a hook, and then realized he could just finish it off with a dunk. Spicy P, he doesn't often get the actual Spicy Pele, but tonight he's giving it to him.
He's getting it. People are asking. It's 50% off while it's still going. I don't think it got changed. I think that's confirmed. Peep in those little emails, but it's definitely 50% there. But yeah, that Spicy Pele dunk. It's good when Spicy P, Pascal Siakam's getting the Spicy Pele of the day. But, Riker, not all plays can be the Spicy Pele of the day, and some just make you say, oh, geez. And before we say the OG segment, I don't want to miss it. We got 2 animations going to play at once, a couple laser beams, a couple things happening. But Peasant Plays is asking, hold up, is Gary Trent Jr. hurt? And I don't believe so. I may be wrong from what I've seen. I think if it is an injury, it's the same way plantar fasciitis has been spreading around the Oklahoma City Thunder with these players here. I believe they're just resting them. Maybe there's some conspiracies happening with the Toronto Raptors right now. And Trent obviously has struggled coming off the bench. You don't want to bench Lowry, especially where both of these guys are in contract year. I think we might see those guys staggered in terms of playing throughout the end of the season. But tonight, the OG's play of the day. You got the merch going. You're flexing it. We got some big news with this stuff here. But it's got to go to Kevin Love. Kevin Love on the Cleveland Cavaliers. You forget that this guy was once, a top 3 power forward, top 2 power forward in the NBA. 25 and 10 every night. And then people thought when LeBron James left, he'd go back to that Minnesota Kevin Love. And that certainly wasn't the case. And tonight, when the ref threw it to him and he just kind of punched it in bounds right to Stanley Johnson, kicked it to Malachi for a 3. Kevin Love is done. He is done with the basketball, it seems like, man.
You think it was intentional? He was just frustrated and punched the ball right back in?
He was walking to the bench, so I assume maybe he thought there was a timeout, but what's he? Not even just the play. What even is Kevin Love at this point in the NBA?
He is a wasteful contract the same way that John Wall is. Be careful with your money, kids. Whoever's listening to this, if you ever do become GMs, before you start shelling out over $100 million for a player on a long-term contract, beware of their injury history. Beware of your star players. Beware of your complimentary players. That's my advice for you, for all the youngins that have $100 million to use to sign a human being to play a sport for
Your
them.
club team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tough world. Yeah, if you are looking to spend $100 million on a basketball player, Ryker and I are willing to try out. We might not be the biggest guys, but we will definitely entertain you in terms of our basketball performances. But Ryker, finally, the one, not all players good, or I'm messing this up right now. The infamous, the one, the only Damari Carroll Gold Star Award. And there's a few things that could go tonight. The Raptors, when you're playing the Cavaliers, there's not going to be a lot of negatives, but I'm seeing a lot of slander happen in the chat right now to Freddie Gillespie. And again, he had a few 4-3 free throws, which is nice, but 6 points, 5 fouls in 14 minutes. This looked like...
Big missed dunk.
Yeah, big missed dunk. The Knicks game, I said, was his worst game as a Toronto Raptor, and tonight, that you can make another argument for that being the case, but I don't know. I'm still high on Gillespie. He's learning the game. People are probably figuring him out a little bit. Before you get your take, we got Gone in the super chat saying Crimson Flynn, another nickname for Malachi Flynn. Shout out for the super chat. We appreciate you, Gone. But, Malachi Flynn, Freddie Gillespie, you got any takes on these guys, Ryker?
I'm still on fourth quarter Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so slick with it. And what I love actually best about Malachi Flynn is his ability to keep his dribble, right? He's able to get into the center of the lane, dribble it out, come baseline, dribble it out, right? That's a big falter, a big mistake of especially small point guards is when they get deep position, they get double teamed, they pick up their dribble. Now all of a sudden they're not able to see across because you got taller guys on you, or you jump up in the air and now all of a sudden you have a half a second to make a pass in the air. Malachi Flynn, I don't think his court vision is there yet, that when he gets that deep position that he's seeing everybody, but at least he's maintaining ball control and he's keeping his dribble alive. That's really important for a small, undersized NBA point guard. So yeah, that's my take on it.
I would make the argument, though. I agree he does miss some, and that's being a rookie and all that. I think he has the natural instincts of a playmaker, and being able to keep your dribble alive in those areas. He's more of a pass-first guy, it feels like, when he's out there. So I'm very high on Malachi Flynn's ability to develop into that passing-type guy. It seems like every night he gets minutes. There's the high in assists. There's only 5 tonight, but he's usually coming out with these 10 assists, 11 assists, 8 assists per games. So I'm excited for Malachi Flynn. But Ryker, we've had a bit of fun breaking down this game. Is there anything you want to... Kyle Lowry, he hit a 3 tonight, better than the other nights. He had 10 assists pretty early in this one. He was facilitating. Again, we didn't need a lot of scoring from Fred and Lowry in this game. Stanley Johnson, he hit a 3. Utah, he was good, 9 points, hit a 3, 100% from the field. Anyone else you really want to talk about?
If you got picked up by the Toronto Raptors on a 10-day contract,
yep,
would you sing Party in the USA better or worse than Malachi Flynn did? Because he was thoroughly upstaged by Gillespie, who completely got into it, got the hand motions going while he was singing. But if you were right on the block, would you have sung it better than fourth quarter Flynn?
Obviously, bro. They had scripts. Malachi Flynn is looking at scripts. And you could tell... No one around our age group doesn't know the lyrics to Party in the USA. That's blasphemous. True. We're around those. We're a couple years younger than those guys, I believe.
No, I'm the exact same age as Malachi Flynn.
Really?
Yep. That's because I said, remember when he got signed, I said he has 2 kids to my 0.
That's true. How old are you? What?
20. I turned 23 next week.
Jeez. I'm a youngin' little 21-year-old Benjamin, still out here, still gonna make the league. But when I'm 23, I'll be in there on my 10-day contract, outshining Malachi Flynn's Party in the USA. But Ryker, before we swing into that final segment, we had a super chat from William Chan saying thoughts about Blazers slide. Thoughts
Slide. They've been losing,
okay.
Ben. Close games.
I was picturing like a slide. He also says like Spike. We'll get a little chant going for his like Spike, like Spike, like Spike, like Spike, like Spike. I was waiting for you to come in, but you had the arm motion going in sync.
I thought it was at the same. Yeah.
The best we've got it, but Riker, thoughts on the Blazers? Because that's tough. That was supposed to be our team we were gonna jump on. Now the Raptors likely aren't gonna make the playoffs, but I don't know. They'll be in the play-in, but what have you seen from them?
They're losing close games, Ben. They're losing close games against decent teams, so at least that's the one promising thing. But I've never seen the Blazers as competitors. I know they had that series against the Lakers, and I thought, who's going to guard LeBron? Now all of a sudden they bring in Robert Covington and think that this guy solves their defensive issues. No, they have bigs in Nurkic and Collins, who obviously went down with injury. They have a bunch of young guys in, I'm not going to remember his name, but and Fernie Simons. So to me, they're not defensively there, and I think that it's justified that the Trailblazers actually didn't feel like they should have made the trade for Rodney Hood and Gary Trent Jr. for Norman Powell. We're here complaining we should have got more, and they're complaining that they didn't even get enough in return for their two guys. So I would like to cheer for them, but at least I still got my boys, the Knicks, that I will be cheering for come playoff time. So
yeah, I'm hopping on the Mavs bandwagon, but I'm also supporting the Blazers.
Get up on the Knicks bandwagon with me.
I like the RJ Barrett. You and I have told the story about playing against him and those sorts of things a few times on the pod. I like the double hat. This is a quality look. We should plug this merch here, but we'll talk about that as we get into the real bantery fun segment. But
and Clem is saying Robert Covington is an awesome defender. WTF. Didn't suggest otherwise. My thought is your defensive inabilities is, yes, you don't have a guy to match up at the 3 spot. And so you're like, I'm afraid of LeBron. That's what happened last season. Didn't have an answer for LeBron. Well, guess what? The Blazers don't have an answer for Anthony Davis or Andre Drummond. And Nurkic is not the guy. And there's nobody off the bench.
Nurkic does a good job on Anthony Davis, though.
But who was their guy? Who was their center off the bench? The one and only Enes Kanter, who is the least known capable NBA defender of all of the centers. I would put Jonas Valanciunas ahead of Enes Kanter in terms of defensive abilities. He's a fantastic scorer, but they just don't have it that's required to make a deep playoff push on the defensive end.
Yeah, I've been peeping Blazers Reddit for a while because we don't catch a lot of their games. It's late, especially Newfoundland time, but they're saying they might trade CJ for some decent bigs, some decent things, and have Norman Powell as their new 2-guard if he ends up re-signing. Thoughts on that before we go full Blazers on this podcast?
That would be crazy. Well, get ready for full Blazers because we'll break them down if they do make a playoff push. We want to follow our boy Norm as far as it takes.
Yeah, but we got a lot of chats. People are roasting you for supporting the Knicks. That being your second team, but we'll bring the banter now after this final segment. That because we can't have banter before this segment happens. It's not like it happens, but let's go for it. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. That's right. The final alarm has gone off. We want to hear your guys' takes. We're going to react to the chat. Go wild with it. And while the chat catches up to the final alarm segment, Kong, I don't know if I can pronounce his first name without getting us demonetized, but guys, 77 likes? Seriously? Can we support the channel and like the video? Shout out explicit Kong. Maybe I wouldn't get demonetized, but we're on the road to 20k subscribers. We appreciate all the likes. What?
Country Kong?
Ooh, I read it wrong. I didn't see the Y there. I didn't see the Y at the end of that one. It is what it is. But we appreciate everyone hopping in the like section, doing all these things. But we got our first super chat of the final alarm segment from Spinny P to Constipation Face. Great stream. Go Tank. Shout out Paul Blunt coming in with those blunt takes. He's gotten more energized. I love it with these super chats.
That's true.
Love to see that. He's on Team Tank. Let us know what you guys are on, Team Tank or Team Playoffs. We got more people into the live stream right now. But we have another super chat from Peasant Plays. Danny Green still didn't get his ring. He's getting it in Toronto. He's getting it when the squad comes out, when the fans are all there. But people, they want the Kazoos, Ryker. People seem to be on Team Tank, and in honor of Paul Blunt, I'll throw the Kazoos. I haven't played that the past few videos, but Ryker, are you on the Kazoos bandwagon? You're still Team Tank?
Functionally Team Tank, aspirationally Team Playoffs. Again, it just might be a little bit too lofty to expect that the Toronto Raptors are able to make a legitimate push. Now, really, you just need to be better than the Wizards and the Bulls. The Bulls have been dreadful. The Wizards, they just came off a very hot 8-game win streak. I think they're going to come back down to earth, though, especially with Denny Avdija. Mm-hmm. He obviously is out with ACL or MCL, something, I think, season-ending injury. So we'll see what happens. They have a tough remaining schedule. We have a tough remaining schedule. So tank functionally, playoffs aspirationally. That's what I would say.
If I had to make my prediction, like I'm just saying, go all out Team Tank and compete with the Kings and stuff, because the way the Wizards are playing, the way we just seem to drop it against good teams when people are down, we're just going to end up the 11th seed, Ryker, with not a chance to play in the play-in and not a chance to, get we still could get a top pick. The lottery odds are better situated at this point, but no real solid shot to get Cade or Suggs or Mobley or any of these guys. So I'm just saying go all out for the tank. You got 10 games left. Play the youngins, see Malachi Flynn ball out, and that's what people are saying. Spinny P.
Somebody's saying, Chicago Bulls did just beat the Heat. So to be fair,
they might.
All three of us are in the mix for the 10th seed.
Yeah. So, and it's not looking like we're going to be able to catch any of the other teams. So we keep your eyes out for those, especially if we do keep winning, because you'd much rather be the 10th seed than the 11th seed, regardless of if you're Team Tank or Team whatever. But if you're going to tank, get a bit lower, boys. But
Ben, can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to plug it now. I was waiting for a natural segue, but I'm just so excited. I'm brimming with excitement to start plugging the merchandise, Ben. And
both you and I are slacking today. We've been rocking the merch on like 80% of the pods, and we're slacking on this one.
Yeah, and we've coded out the website. We have everything ready to go on that front. We have the 4 best designs as voted by the fans, as called for repeatedly. So we have that. It's a pleasure to offer that starting tomorrow, Ben. So I just want to really get the excitement up about there. I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Should we tease what we're throwing out there?
Yeah.
We got that hoodie, but behind Ryker. I'll pull him up on the screen. Rip to all the animations that are going to play after. But you can kind of see it better, that Ryker, that Raptors Digest hoodie behind Ryker's hand. Might have been easier to see it actually at the base. I don't know. We got the Kazoos, got the road. Ooh. Yeah, but we got that one. We got an OG's hoodie. We got it redesigned for you guys. Redesigned. This was our original beta. We got it gold with white trim and a gold, clean Raptors Digest leaf with the gold on it.
I got the leaf to demonstrate as well.
Yeah, so that'll be the leaf underneath the OGs. And then we've got Team Tank, Team Playoff shirts coming for you guys. You can support your side while the time is out with the 2021.
Extremely limited edition.
To remember this season as it is. And then all these are designed by us. But one thing we want to get cooking, if you guys are interested in our art skills, our artistic ability, we're trying to design premium clothing, like premium things with Ryker did it. He designed a tree, and Illustrator went all out with it. So we got a lot of stuff coming. People are asking what the website is. The Shopify, if you want to check it out, how are we going to set this up? Because we need one final confirmation from our distributor before we officially make it live. But where are we putting it up tomorrow?
We are going to put it up through our own website, raptorsdigest.ca. You'll create a tab with store, and then the store will you click on it, and it'll link you to the Shopify page with those 4 items. Again, we're right there. And feedback, that'll be much appreciated. We can literally make any design, put literally anything onto a shirt. So shout out to our fantabulous what is it? What a
Fantabulous.
supplier distributor. Yeah,
Design My
like that.
Apparel. Shout out Mano. We know him by Mano. Design My Apparel. You design, we create, and you guys like we are designing. They've been phenomenal. If you are a small business, if you are a person who just wants custom clothing because you want to look cool and have your own designs, go to those guys. And they're based out of Toronto, so they're building up their startup. So quality stuff, and you can use RAPS20. That's the promo code.
That is the promo code.
Yep.
RAPS20
To get-
and capital RAPS20. And anyway, big things cooking there on that front. So
Bueno
got that out
Kitty
of the
wants the pylons don't shoot threes hat, and those stuff, it might not be timely by the time we can get hats. We're looking into hats. We've been trying to get that stuff cooking. We might have some underground sales and stuff with
with certain branded
we can't
apparel
send
that
through our website.
we will definitely not be posting on legitimate channels. But if you happen to Instagram DM us, there might be things that we could arrange. We'll just leave it at that, Ben. But let's bring it back to basketball. I'm sure that people would appreciate us talking about the actual Toronto Raptors for the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
We broke down Malachi Flynn. People are really high on calling him Flynn Sanity, fourth quarter Flynn, the Crimson Flynn. There's a bunch of Flynnish him, Flinteresting. There's a lot of great names for our new up-and-comer rookie, Khem Birch. It's nice to have a real center in that matchup against Khem Birch and Jared Allen. Kevin Love, tossing the game basically. OG and Pascal Siakam, they seem to be on the precipice of coming back and being fantastic players on a playoff team once again, but we're just not quite there yet. I'm not sure what else there is to really break down on this game, Ben. Is there anything that comes to mind? I'm scrolling back through as I talk to see if there's any questions, but people are saying 11th seed would be gross. It's tank fully or make the playoffs. Those are the only two options.
Yeah, it's a big takeaway. This game, playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're optimized tanking. We were optimized tanking there for about a week, and then we got real messy. But I don't know. To see Malachi Flynn, OG Anunoby, all these guys have solid performances and a win. Always nice to see for the team going forward. The Flynn Reaper, I like that one as well. Fourth quarter Flynn. But Ryker, the Timberwolves beat the Jazz on back-to-back games. Oh my goodness.
Isn't Donovan Mitchell out, or is he back now?
He was out for a bit. I'm not sure if he's 100% back at this point, but yeah, the Wizards are playing good. This is just a weird year. That's why we've been playing the kazoos. We've been rocking out with this. I don't know. Before we
Mitchell's out.
Mitchell's out. Yeah. Before we end it off, we'll have a little like spike chant, like spike, because we're at 99 likes. We can crack it over 100 in a game such as this against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It'd be greatly appreciated. But any final takes in the chat, I'll throw it out to people there. But watch out for the Wolves next season. You worried about the Wolves? Are you sleeping on the Wolves next year, Ryker?
No.
You're not sleeping
worried
on them?
about the Wolves.
Or you're not worried about them?
I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah. I don't know. D'Lo and Catwin say they got Edwards. I don't know. If their pick goes to the Warriors, that'd be tough. That would be tough for them. If they get their first round pick, get a decent guy. If they end up getting Mobley, then I can see them being decent. Is Durant playing tomorrow? I think Durant's coming back. He was off the bench and really balled out.
He was off the bench
didn't he?
last game, 28 minutes, 33 points. He was looking nice. I mean, that man is just he's a scorer.
Yeah. And Blinky says this is going to be our win, and then we're going to go on a big losing streak. I agree with that. I think that's the direction we're going to end up going. That's why you just want to lose all you can, especially against a team you're neck and neck with on the way to zero, or on the way to the bottom. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But Ryker, we hit 100 likes. There hasn't been many balloons recently on the pod, so I'm throwing the balloons out here. We appreciate everyone coming out, hopping in the like section, hopping in the channel. It's the spot. William Chan says, thanks to Newfoundland for the help to us in Ontario. Yeah, we got you with our nurses. That's I believe that's what we did, right?
Yeah, there was a call to help. Ontario is struggling now with being overwhelmed in the ICUs, and Newfoundland had offered previously nurses, but then Ottawa just pledged to help India, who's having an oxygen crisis. So I'm not sure how.
Really, The Economist wrote a really good article on them.
Oh yeah, but I don't know how Ottawa is offering help when Ontario is asking for help. I'm not sure how that really works out there, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's still a mess. Obviously, we have long ways to go before everyone is vaccinated and things start to get back to normal. So I implore you all to make sure you're still staying safe. I know that it's boring when you're in lockdown and you want to get it back out there, but practice safe habits, think about everybody else, and keep enjoying basketball.
Yeah. Just shout out to everyone because we have a huge base in Ontario. Newfoundland's been good. We had a little scare there in February, March, but as we alluded to with our stories occasionally on the pod, things have been great, and we're happy with that. But just shout out to everyone there, and Ottawa has federal help, so people all over the country. But yeah, won't end it off on that bit of a somber tone, but just hoping everyone stays safe, all that sort of stuff. But you guys are the best to make this far. Check out the Twitter, the Instagram, all that cool stuff. RaptorsDigest.ca. That's where you'll be. Check it out tomorrow. We'll be plugging it on. If you want to be early, right? You really want to be one of those first people. Be updating the website, see when that store thing comes out. I got a bit of a beta thing going on. If people creep our links, they might find the fake store with nothing on it there. But we got the Shopify one built out now, and then we're gonna get a crazy one probably for the next few weeks. Check out RaptorsDigest.ca tomorrow and get all this crazy merch. Riker, do you have any last words on this?
That's my Bobon heart. My Bobon Mariana
You have the
chart.
elbows there. This one's more
I can't bend my arm that way. He's got some
You
long
got good. It's
arms.
looking good there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Constipation face. Shout out to everyone for making it through this game.
Shirt?
Ben, we need to do it. I'll put you on a shirt, you put me on a shirt, and whoever's shirt sells more, that person wins. So I'll leave it to the comment section to say whose face would you buy more? My face animated and on a shirt.
One of these nights, didn't we?
Yep. Your face animated and put on a shirt. Whose would sell more? That would be the competition. We're not there yet.
I think we got to be in more of an upswing for Raptors fans when they actually care about the team to be that invested to buy underground Raptors reporters shirts, faces on a shirt for the sake of a challenge. But who knows? Maybe you guys are interested in that. Bro, I'm disappointed. I brought it up to you. You didn't notice. No one in the chat noticed my haircut. I thought it looks a lot cleaner. It's still pretty long. I asked the hairdresser. There's a new one because I usually go to someone that just shaves off the side of my head and grows it, but I've obviously had the hair grown for the past year. And I was like, yeah, should we probably cut it a bit more on the side? She's like, no. I was like, all right. That's cool. So now it's still long.
That's it. Great story, great monologue to finish it off. Better than SNL. You've heard it here first. Ben's hair is slightly shorter and revolutionary. Good night, guys. Everybody is saying that I need to go to bed.
And
by everybody,
what's
I mean
the name?
people.
Someone, he was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's here now. The guy that always says good night, sleep, sweet, or something, sweet Riker or something. You know the guy.
I do know what you're talking. I just can't remember the name.
We'll know for next podcast.
Right. Lights coming off. Lights coming off.
It's going off. Should I keep you up another hour? No, that's fine. All right, we're signing off. Lots of fun stuff coming. You guys are the best.